November 10th, after a perfect storm, if you will, of news coming out over the weekend with Joe Biden officially accepting and winning the presidency, as well as Pfizer Monday morning coming out with a vaccine, the COVID vaccine that is proves 90% effective, even more so than the regular flu shot, if you will. So if you can see here, the markets had a nice day yesterday. At one point, being up 1,000 points. And as they said, the great rotation happened. It was a perfect storm. You had the stay-at-home stocks and the COVID stocks get crushed precipitously, down 10 to 20% each. And this was the rotation everyone was looking for. Let's go to TGH for a second. But what I wanted to show is yesterday's movers and the ones with range. Here we go. You can see here, this was yesterday's range, and it was evident by what happened and how they rotated. APT, they make masks. 3 million shares, 3 times volume, no longer need a lot of masks. Wayfair, Nautilus, VIR, Overstock, INO, another vaccine maker, all getting hit on the COVID news. Let's go to the movers with amazing ranges. Look at the stocks with volume here. Carnival Cruise Line was up 40% in a day on 3 times its average volume. You can see the same amount of the same with AMC movie theaters, the airlines, Oxy Petroleum, who had numbers this morning, Sabre, the travel site, Lyft, Slob, Nordstrom, Spirit Airlines. So you see these stocks traded 5-6 times volumes with 30% ranges, even edifying more that the great rotation had happened. So what did we do and what are we going to do? So this is this morning. I posted actually last night at 6:30 a.m. Here's the tactical sentiment. The tactical sentiment is still way overbought, and that's even after the SPY sell-off, which happened late in the afternoon. So God forbid the market didn't pull from 361 to 354, which is equivalent to 400 Dow points. If that pullback didn't happen, then we would be looking at record overbought territory. And as we can see in the next 2 charts here, nothing has really changed, even with that little pullback. The S&P sentiment going back as of October 19th is way overbought. The DSI on the S&P right now is 70. Let's go to the S&P, an 83 RSI, overbought territories. As I said before, let's expect a pullback. Netflix, we're looking to buy Netflix on a dip, by the way. I'm going to go to price action afterwards. Is the GLD sentiment, hence the bounce this AM. Probably the most it's been oversold since March. I wouldn't be surprised if it pulls back there, though maybe it looks to buy the dip. Although Dale will be on the room and he'll help us out with that. I do believe that stocks lead the commodity, so let's watch the best of breed new month, see what happens. The put-call ratio showing absolute zero fear, the lowest it's been, and we've been through some turbulent times since the COVID began. Here are all the indexes and their gauges. The Indus coming in the hottest. If you looked at Jim Cramer this morning, he actually said about the industrial stocks, the vicious rotation out of the COVID stocks could continue, but I would caution the banks and industrials are already expensive on earnings. So we'll continue on this rotation and see what happens here. Here were yesterday's after-hours movers. We had Beyond Meat, which I'm looking to short around the 120 area. Here were the most active overnight. Not really much pullback in any news. Fizzler had earnings today. We'll see how the solar stocks act. Pre-market activity this morning. We're having Lilly follow through, CUK follow through, TNA, BP. The oils are following through more. Beyond Meat, Crone, the wheat stocks, cannabis stocks are taking a little bit of pullback. So what are we going to do here? Let's go. The futures. First of all, let's go and see what we look what Europe is doing before we do anything else. Before we start trading. FTSE near the high, DAX near the high. Nikkei finished off the low, gold pairing, and even crude's pulling back a little bit. Okay, so what are we going to do? This is our universe right here. Here are our stay-at-home stocks. Zoom, Shop, Nautilus had earnings this morning. Big Lots was a good play for us yesterday. This was a great stay-at-home play. I'm going to look to short Big Lots on a bounce. The same could be with Target. Broke all technical supports. Let me go back to my list here. Okay. NIO, I've actually played a little bit unsuccessfully. I think once that NIO breaks about $43, made a little bit of money this morning. That can be looked as a short, although not a great play. CCL has now made a move from 13 to 22 in 2 days. I'll tell you a stock that hurt me yesterday was Caesars. I was short 5,000 shares of the stock, and it closed, you can see 63. It went to 70. At one point yesterday, it was up $20. It was down 6 figures on the stock from 57 to 75. That was $20. I didn't even realize it to that point. I'm going to be looking to fade that. You need to listen, the bottom line is everybody's going to pay attention to the rotation. You're not going to be sure what's going to happen, but here the futures are somewhat mixed. The VIX, there's no fear, which leads me to believe that there are going to be few reversals and why these stocks are still following through the way they are. If the VIX starts to pick up a little bit, then you're going to know that the rotation is going to dissipate a little bit, and then you're going to go into the high flyers or maybe even into the growth stocks again. Banks are following through. You got to watch golds, oils, Kramer, and I say Jim Cramer because right now he is, and he would. This is no disrespect to Jim, but he's the voice and the reason. He is Joe Sixpack right now, and he says the oils will probably have another follow through day tomorrow, and that would be the day that you can short them. And I can't say that I disagree. They'll be looking to short the worst of breed. What are the worst of breeds? FANG. A stock that's made a move from 25 to 33. I'll be looking to short FANG. I'll be looking to short that around $35, right above probably the strike price. So what I'm saying is let's go to what's working on TGH. Everybody needs to stay in the room, and we're all going to communicate and look at the most actives, even go to my room. And everybody should trade well and look for the updates. But that's our universe right now. So everybody trade well and do your homework.